I think what's key to keep in mind is the numbers. Look at the niche market the plastic box Xbox console has maintained. Look at the ultimate top tier subscribers. Compare that to the PlayStation market for their monthly subscriptions. They tend to have a higher statistic of an essential tier, of a tier one, not tier two, not tier three. So essentially, what I'm trying to point out by looking at these, comparing these statistics, is that Xbox has captured successfully more of a higher premium monthly subscription product service. So therefore, what I'm trying to point out is PlayStation just a concept, whereas people play games that don't cost any money, like FIFA, like Call of Duty, like Fortnite. It's a Fortnite box. So people buy the console, they put it on the mantle, and that's it. It collects dust. They fire up FIFA, they fire up Fortnite, then they walk away. Now, there's a global demand for a piece of hardware that plays free-to-play games. There you have it. There it is. Now, if you want to pay money, if you're a payer, not a player, would you get a monthly subscription service? And which one would it be? Would it be Xbox? Would it be PlayStation? Would it be both? So then you get into that segment of people who actually pay for games. They claim that Xbox has a great niche segment of the pie that they're not talking about. And the segment of the pie, the piece of the pie they have payers, not players. They have payers. They have people that pay monthly, but also buy games. That's the niche. That's a profitable niche. All Microsoft has to do is to offer a plastic box. That's it. It can be a Series S. It can be an entry-level plastic box that's manufactured, that you have to plug in your own screen. You have to plug in your own controller. You have to plug it into the wall. You have to plug it into your TV. You have to do all the plugging ins of stuff. They just supply the plastic box. I mean, how simple is that? How low cost it is to set up, where the niche is your monthly service. The niche is the compatibility of your ecosystem too. Cloud, PC Game Pass, console Game Pass, remote play, cloud saves between devices. So this is what they've achieved, and there is a high percentage of Xbox users in the United States of America. That's the battleground. The world is not the battleground. We don't care about the world market. The world market's worth nothing. Outside the English-speaking countries, it's not relevant to the console space, to the entertainment space. That's going to go from $60 billion to $600 billion in 15 to 20 years. Right? By 2035. And we've all seen those numbers. So we've got to be... I put it before you now. I submit that I think... I submit to you what I've said. Now, what the judgments I will draw from that is, I think it's easy for Microsoft Family Shop to stay in the business, in a foot in the door, by providing a bland plastic box with a HDMI input, with a Cat5 Ethernet cable input, with a power input, with a few USB sockets for the next 10 to 20 to 30 years. To 40 years, I think indefinitely, and provide a catalogue of third-party games and some internally generated games. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would Microsoft want to have its own games? Well, it's part of a package. It's part of the Windows operating system package. You start up Windows, where do you go to game? PC Game Pass. It's all there. Pay on the monthly, $10 a month. You're out of trouble. You didn't even have to buy anything. So it's part of that subscription model of behaviors of people wanting to rent and not buy. It's consumer behavior. It boils down to consumerism. Consumers don't want to spend a couple of $1,000s on games they'll play once. They'll rent the games for $20. They'll rent the games for $15 for a month. They'll play for a month and they'll walk away. That's how they want it. And so that monthly subscription model can fit in easily with the Windows operating system. And games that have been purchased, whose studios have been acquired, who develop games exclusively, can fit within that subscription financing model. Third-party games can be included in the monthly subscription to increase value and overall user experience of that monthly service. However, to keep that service going, to keep it going in a sense of the console market may not be profitable. However, what's really printing off a plastic box, an entry model, which is $300 to mass produce them? Is that really a high value to keep a foot in that door? Will consoles, will gaming? I mean, what's Steam doing? What's Sony doing? What are they doing? They're falling back on a thing called a form factor. Sony's falling back on a thing called a form factor. It's form factor. Steam, Valve, is falling back on a thing called a desktop form factor. So, and then from that form factor, they render games like strategy games, first-person shooter, adventure games, RPG games, role-playing games, strategy games, simulation games. So what I promote is the form factor, and the operating system, the OS of Xbox, is actually a form factor that is side by side with PC, desktop, and laptop. So it has its own operating system, it has its own hardware form factor orientation. So the way to see it is really to look at Steam. Look at these different games. Look at keyboard and mouse strategy games. Incorporate that into Game Pass, into PC Game Pass. You've essentially destroyed the competition. You're essentially getting rid of Steam because Steam has no competition. And you can make some big, juicy inroading into Steam. Look at Hypercharged. Look at that. Look what's been done there. Look at Humankind coming to Xbox. Look at Anno coming to Xbox by Ubisoft. Look at these strategy games coming to a different form factor, different operating system. So look at the Steam Deck. Look at the ROG Ally, Asus Ally. Look at the Lenovo Go. Now, the thing in common, if Microsoft went into handheld, you can look at the Steam Deck and see those touch-sensitive pads. You can play strategy games with that. Like a keyboard, it's like a mini keyboard and mouse. So the Xbox could have those touch pads, but that's still an experimental market. But you can see how the Steam Deck, you can play normal games, but you can play strategy games where you need a keyboard and mouse without a keyboard and mouse. So you can start to see how it's really a war of the form factor. And it's a war of the operating system. So what I propose from drawing upon what I've said is, what's the price of an entry model console? What's the price of a Steam Deck to Steam? How do you weigh that up? Do you present a console that is partially handheld and can plug into a TV, but also can be handheld as a handheld? Weigh that up and see what emerging markets. The handheld market is an emerging market.